What's going on, man? It's your boy Donnie, back with another video, man. Today we gotta talk about the swamp that we call online dating, right? And it's crazy because like I've been experimenting with it, and it's like you realize that the it's not real, you know, when you take something as far as online dating apps go, and you realize that these days with all our camera phones that we got, that the majority of it is just based off of pure appearance, which for me, I mean, I'm fortunate when I can say that yes, I have a lot of success with it, but it's like, is it real? You know, you gotta ask yourself, is it real? And it's like it's cutting the modern dating in half now because of the effort that you don't really have to make. You know, you got access to all these people that you've never met before. But you know, I think that it's it's so empty. You know what I'm saying? It's not a way to put yourself out there. I don't think it's a way to develop yourself either. Develop your character. Have something that you can say that, you know what, I learned from this experience. If you're clicking on somebody and you match with somebody, you gotta be honest. You're liking each other based off of the attraction that you appear to have physically, you know, without mentally knowing anything about that person. And some people say like, "Well, what's wrong with that?" You know, I'm meeting all these people, blah blah blah. You know, it's different when you go out in person and you meet somebody compared to seeing somebody on an app. And I think that for a lot of you guys, you know, trying to put yourself out there, I'm telling you to work on yourself first, you know, before you go and try to experience anything like that. Because I think that it's a waste of time, you know, like take it from me, you know, like not even trying to brag, having over hundreds of matches all the time, you know, it's cool, you know, but I know it's because of my appearance, it's because of my attractiveness or whatever, you know, work out, I'm a pretty fit guy, I can hold conversation, you know, but there's more to it sometimes, and dating apps doesn't need you to capture that. And I think at some point it just becomes like not worth your time. It's not worth your time. I'm telling you, it's not worth your time because there's a lot of you that need to develop yourself. You need to learn social skills. For a lot of guys, I think you're lacking a lot of social skills because you no longer need to go outside. You know what I'm saying? There is no need for you to really go far outside of your house to do what you need to do, from work to buying groceries, you know, to even enjoying yourself. Like most guys don't even go out like that anymore, and it shows when they do. Because when they do, it's kind of strange for them to go out. You know, conversations are kind of short. You know, you're always caught up in the crowd, and you don't really know how to do your own thing because you haven't been out. And for those of you guys that do go out, you know, there's a difference by the way you carry yourself socially, you know, because the dating apps now, what it's doing, it's prioritizing attention based off of physical features. So if you are the prettiest one, and that goes for women too, not just guys. If you're the pretty ones out there, you get all this attention of people that want you, but they don't really want you for you. They want from what they see, and that's can be taken two ways. Because if you're not really what you show yourself to be, now imagine that feeling when that person doesn't agree with who you are, who you said you are when they see you, or you are what they think you are, but you know they want you for that and nothing else. You know, that's why dating is so empty nowadays. You know, there's no serious motivation anymore to date. You know, and I myself, you know, like I'm trying to navigate this space of being out, which I love to do. I love to be around people, and I'm realizing that I like that a lot more than just sitting on my phone and clicking and swiping and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? It's not for me. You know what I'm saying? Even though I have a lot of success with the online dating, it's not for me because I feel like I'm forcing myself to be on an app when I could be outside. You know, and maybe that's an old school way of thinking, but nothing beats being outside, traveling places, going places, you know what I'm saying? Having a drink with your friends, just sitting down outside, enjoying other people's company. You know, I think there's something to be said for that, that you need to understand that it is important for you to have those skills too. When you do step out, that you are able to have a conversation. Because, you know, even though you don't need that in a dating app, like, what do you want the app for then? Like, are you really trying to meet people? Like, sometimes you have to ask yourself that, like, am I really trying to, like, meet people, or am I just trying to, like, you know, smash or whatever, you know? Because, like, even that, if you really wanted to do that, like, you can go outside and meet people, whoever, who aren't interested in relationships, but at least you got to know the person right away and you saw who that person was in the real, instead of relying on what the pictures say. And it gets a little bit tiring, I think, to be on all these apps. You got the Hinge, you got Bumbles, the Tinders, whatever you use nowadays. There's so many of the damn apps. There's an app for everything. And I think that we need to get back to, like, old school, go somewhere, meet people. And, you know, for men and women, it's different for everybody. You know, some guys don't have that confidence like that to go out and try to approach a female, and some females these days seem to be very tired of men approaching them. I don't know if that means that they're not happy, if they don't want to be approached. My thing is, if you really don't want to be approached, you know, I wouldn't necessarily go out then. But at the same time, you know, a lot of women go out because their girlfriend go out and they want to have a girlfriend night. So even if you're not happy to go out, and I see that all the time, like, if she's not happy to go out, most likely her girlfriend was, you know, and that's why she's there, because, you know, they're gonna stick together. So I understand that too. You know, that's not a hating point of me, it's just an observation. So at the same time, you know, as a man, you know, you are always going to have to take charge of that situation if you want someone to talk to you. You're going to have to initiate that conversation, you know, which is different from when you are on a dating app, because when you're on a dating app, you know there's an interest in you already, as opposed to out in person. You really don't know if the person is interested in you like that. You know what I'm saying? You might not be the best looking guy, or you might not be the best speaker, you might not be as confident, but, you know, you can build that eventually through the period of time that you're talking to the woman that you're talking to, you know, just by being yourself. You know what I'm saying? So that takes practice. And vice versa, you know, for women it's different now, because you no longer, you know, you don't have to go back that far, but, you know, 20 years ago, 20, 15 years ago, you know, like, we had we had phones, but it wasn't like it was so accessible to everyone that we were all using it. You know, it was, the social media thing was like a gradual build up. You know what I'm saying? So now you get attention from all over the world. You know, from guys promising you the world, when, you know, is that real? You know, promising you the world, giving you the attention that you need, or at least in that moment. But at the same time, it's like, it doesn't last. And does it ever last? Is what you have to ask yourself when you're going on an app and you're trying to figure out if this is some person that you can take serious. In my experience, it never does. It never does. Because, you know, you're going, I think if you're on dating apps, you're usually going into it for the wrong reasons. I don't give a shit what you write on there. You know, going into, and that's another thing too, relationships these days, like, you're going into the relationship, and amongst men and women, I want to make clear, like, if I talk about a specific gender, I will say that, but it's usually both sides I'm talking about. You know, like, today we're going into relationships for the wrong reasons, which is why relationships aren't working anyway. You know what I'm saying? You're doing it for the gram, you're doing it for the whatever, you know. It's not to really try to figure out if this person is somebody you can build with. You know what I'm saying? Just building in general takes effort from both parties, and nowadays it doesn't work anymore as it used to, because it's become a competition. And, you know, nowadays everybody's recording everybody, and you're gonna have to question loyalty. You know, who's loyal, who's not loyal. You know, that's for men and women. It's at an all-time high. You know, when it comes to just being loyal to whoever you're trying to date or be with. It's not. It's terrible out there. It's terrible. You wouldn't believe it. Trust me. I don't care if you're married. I don't care if you're dating. You know, it's the loyalty. You gotta question it, and it's not just men. It's a lot of women out there too. And I couldn't believe it. Yeah, as I'm getting older, I'm 29 now, but loyalty, which is one of the biggest reasons why I think dating apps work so much, is because there's no real commitment to it, right? It's in and out, which eventually fills the need for the constantly being in when you're really in a relationship. But I say that you should ignore the dating apps forever. And if you don't believe me, just stop using it for like a month and, go out here and there and you'll see the difference. And that's from a guy's perspective who is confident enough to go out and do his own thing and do whatever, approach women, talk to women, get to know them. And of course, like I said before, not every woman these days wants to be approached. But hey, if you want to be with somebody, you're gonna have to make an effort too, and that's for the ladies. You know, you're gonna have to make an effort too. It can't always just be, well, I like him, but I don't really like this, I don't like that. Eventually, you're gonna have to make a choice. Women have choice today, so eventually you're gonna have to make one. You don't stay young forever. But I'm gonna talk about it in the next video, man. Like, this is more about dating apps. It's your boy Don. Let me know what you think in the comment section, man. I'm tired of these dating apps. Like, I started deleting them off my phone, and I figure I'd speak on this. It's your boy Don. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I'll see y'all next time. Peace. I'm out.